Hey everyone, this is ManaknightX here, hoping to do a quick tutorial on my controller setup. Now, I've had a couple of friends that play controller and wonder how I actually managed to do a few things in this game in terms of running out of buttons or running out of spots in the hotbar and how to target and stuff like that. So I thought I'd try to bring up my setup here and try to explain my logic on a lot of this. Now, before I begin, shout out to Work the Game and Ginger Prime for actually helping me out with dealing with the setup here. They've been a big help for that, for most of the things I do in this game, and I've been very appreciative of them. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, you might notice if you are a controller player and you've played for a while, you might notice that I have these two extra sections on my hotbar that you don't normally see. Now, this is how I get additional spots on my hotbar. So, this is the additional cross hotbar, and these are my other sections that are mostly hidden more often than not. Alright, so I'll show you real quick how I do that. So first off, you go to System, and you go to Character Configuration, and you go to hotbar settings. Now, this is my current hotbar settings. Pretty much, I have it show only certain bars in particular, but this is actually not going to be very relevant to what I'm trying to do. Alright. Now, first off, I have a few bars that I actually share across classes. These bars will be the same no matter what class I switch into, be it, you know, my Gunbreaker, Dragoon, whatever. And that is this bar. This bar is going to be the same no matter what I do for any other class. I change classes, it'll be there. As you can see, that's actually hotbar 7, so whatever I do to this bar, it'll cross over. Alright, so but back to what I was describing. Alright, so hotbars 7 and 8 on the cross hotbar, that'll be shared across the board. So any skills that need to be used across any class, it'll be there. Usually my mounts, sprint, limit break, stuff like that. Now, to get to the extra cross hotbar, you have to enable the cross hotbar first. So you enable this setting and enable any other settings that you wish. These are just how I have, but that is not really relevant when we're talking about this particular time. Now, for the cross hotbar controls, I like to use hold. So when I do this, for example, when I want set 2, I hold left and then hit right to show this, and I hold. Or I do the other way to get this. That's what it means by hold. Toggled means if you do that, it'll stay there. I'm not the biggest fan of that, so yes. Now the cross hotbar type, I prefer this, so that way it shows only the directionals and the buttons up here instead. I don't need any of this extra stuff, so that's why I don't use this one in particular. Okay, so next up, yes, I always like to display so I can watch my cooldowns, and I like to return after I hit the button. So after, let's say, I use ability, it'll immediately go back to here after I use, like, No Mercy, for example. I also positioned everything separately. Okay, so in my custom settings, this is where I can actually set up which hotbar my cross hotbar goes to, because these are not its own bar. They're actually just me accessing other bars quickly, because this is actually, this cross hotbar is actually hotbar 2. So that's why I have, if you look at my settings here, cross hotbar left is going to be hotbar number 2. And the shared hotbar right to have is crossbar number 7. As well as when I enable my W cross hotbar, This up here is actually hotbar 3 on the left, and this one's also hotbar 3 but on the right. And when I do my set selections here, I enable my customizations when the weapon is sheathed. So when I am sheathed, I will only access these bars, and when drawn, I only access this bar. This way I don't have any accidents. These are PvP settings. I can do the exact same thing for PvP settings to be separate. That's only if you have to worry about that at all. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about with being a controller player is targeting. Now, targeting has been a problem for a few players. From there, let's see here. Just trying to remember all my locations here. I'm sorry. Okay. So it's going to be under character configuration. It's going to be under control settings, and you're going to worry about target settings. Okay. Now, I typically have things automatically face my target when using an action. This way, my AoEs will go in the right direction I want to go, stuff like that. Enable auto target when no target is specified. I don't like automatically locking onto something with auto attack because I need to be able to look away for face away mechanics. And while in battle, I disable the targeting of pets and minions so I don't accidentally hit something, target something I'm not supposed to, and I just lose DPS and I don't even realize it because I'm kind of dumb like that sometimes. Targeting type, I like to ignore death. This way I can see if there's any enemies that I don't see, I'll lock onto them first. Any target display settings, I like to see target range so I know which way an enemy is facing. I like to see target lines, I like to see aggro lines, this way I know where everything's going, where things are being communicated. Okay, these are quick filter settings, which I'm a control player, so that doesn't really matter much to me. Alright, now, filters. Alright. This is how I actually manage to target things a little bit easier. Now, I enable target cycling, and I also disabled the automatic weapon sheathing. In case you haven't noticed, I haven't sheathed my weapon this entire time. The reason why is because I actually have my target filters changed differently depending whether or not I have my weapon drawn or not. When I am drawn, I only target enemies. Just enemies. The reason why I turn off party members is because party members are always going to be on default up and down on your control D-pad. So honestly, having that on your filter settings is actually unnecessary. You know, that way I can go up and down for teammates, left and right for enemies. And when my weapon is sheathed, I'll be able to target NPCs, ally members, all this other stuff that, in case I need to do some interaction and stuff like that. That way, I can kind of ignore enemies, sort of. Okay. And that is mostly how I have my settings go. So pretty much, like I said, while I'm filtered, with my weapon sheathed, I will target many little things, including my little minion here. And while while my weapon is drawn, I will actually not target him at all, because right now I'm actually hitting my D-pads. I am not targeting my cat, but I'll hit my enemies here. Now, as for hotbar setup, for tanks specifically, and this kind of also crossovers to any other class really, I like to have my left and right side separate to what I am doing at the time. On the right side, I have all of my single target damages, so if I'm just facing one target, I just go bam. And I just keep moving on like this. I use my double cross hotbar to trip my cooldowns and various things like that as I am moving. And that's how I keep things going throughout the entire fight. Alright, so. And I have my right side be all my AoEs. This way I can, when I'm fighting 3 or more enemies, I just hold my left triggers and I know exactly what type of style I'm using at the time. Alright. Now, for my cross skills, my roll actions, I believe they're called, sorry. I often try to keep them on the same button for each class. That way I can really train up my muscle memory. For example, Rampart is always up there on my tanks. For my stun is always down here on circle. You know, my glab closer is always here. You know, stuff like that. You know, my range. And that's typically how I handle things in terms of setting up my hotbar and trying to keep things as organized and keep the learning curve to a minimum. Especially since whenever we get new classes, heck, I gotta learn 2 more classes pretty soon here as soon as the expansion comes out. Okay. Alright, so that'll about do it. I'm glad that you decided to take a look at this video here, and I hope I helped out as much as I can. I mostly did this video as a help to a friend of mine who just started, so if this helps anybody else, I am glad to be able to help you out. Anyways, until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Take care.